the nose, and the eyes. Even if the surfaces are contaminated with the virus, and you touch those surfaces, yes, the virus will be on your hand. However, it will not enter your body unless you touch yourself in the soft parts of your body before washing. Correct, you people? These soft parts are the eyes, the mouth, and the nose. If you wash with soap, before you touch those soft parts, the virus will have died or been washed away. Number 13. Then there is the issue of nutrition, so as to eat foods that strengthen our body soldiers, the immune system, to fight the enemy. Apart from ensuring a balanced diet, which the district medical officers, through fortnightly addresses to all of you, should inform you about, in the particular fight against this virus, there is the need to take in good quantities of vitamin C through eating oranges and lemon, and also eating ripe bananas to get folic acid and vitamin B6. The folic acid and the vitamin B6 help the nervous system of the body. I will ask these people to explain that later in more detail. Ascorbic acid from the oranges helps your body to produce blood cells and build immunity. They will also explain that to you people. Therefore, apart from decongesting the population concentrations, so as to deny the virus big bodies of our citizens to easily infect and spread the disease, the other important measure is the one who is having a cold not to spray the innocent with sneezing out or coughing into open air. Block your sneezing with the tissue if you are the rich type that can afford tissues, or into handkerchiefs that you frequently wash, dry, and iron. Wash your hands with soap so that you remove the virus on your hands, so that you do not contaminate the surfaces. Then, on the defensive side, make it a habit never to casually touch your mouth, your nose, or your eyes with unwashed hands in case you touched contaminated surfaces. Ever since 1959, at Mbarara High School, when I attended my confirmation course, Octavo Mkono, the Reverend Eustace Ruhindi advised us to use our left hand to receive the bread for the Holy Communion, because the right hand would have been contaminated with the greeting of people. It is now 61 years since. In all that time, my right hand is for greeting, opening doors, handling pens, etc. The left hand is reserved for myself, blowing my nose, etc. This was long before these diseases, Ebola, Corona, etc. It was a wise advice. The Ugandans could look at it. I never allow my right hand to touch my left hand before washing. That is why I never clap hands. They've not seen me clapping hands, never, in public. I normally bang the table because I'm using the other hand which I donated to the public. I normally bang the tables with the same right hand that I donated to the public long ago. I never want my right hand to contaminate my left hand, which is strictly for myself. Otherwise, Uganda is prepared. We have isolation centers. We have long had the testing capacity within the country ever since the first Ebola days. We have some factories providing hand sanitizers, and we are going to have more. Some factories will start producing face masks of the different types. There is even some talk of treatment using the old chloroquine. However, prevention is better than cure. On the side of the economy, there is no doubt that some sectors like tourism, hotels, sports, entertainment, etc., will be hit by the phenomenon of this disease. However, others, like the manufacturing sector, will get a boost. The countries of the world, by their selfish actions, are again waking up Africa that it is suicidal to depend on others. I have warned our people to stop talking like the selfish foreigners by trying to stop the ritual we have being exported to other African countries. We can keep a bit for ourselves, but we shall share with the others whatever we have. The blocking of imports should therefore get the long-sleeping Ugandans to wake up and use the huge amount of money they long earned by turning our market into a dumping point for foreign goods to build our own manufacturing capacity. Through the Bubu, Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, we shall help those groups. Everything you have been importing, except for petroleum products for now make here. The US $7 billion you have been using to import, keep it here. Turn misfortune into an opportunity. On Saturday, 21st March, which will be the 41st anniversary of the defeat of Idi Amin's forces at Rugando by the Tanzanian People's Defense Force of 80 kg kikosi cha jeshi 80 battalion and task force battalion and for NASA forces. I have invited the top leaders of the faith for national prayers at Entebbe State House. I will invite only a few, the heads. I don't want a crowd. I will invite a few, they come and we pray for the whole country. The few of us will pray for the whole country together. All of you pray in your homes. God will hear us. In order to synchronize the dates with the closure of the schools on Friday, the actions of suspending the other activities that are starting immediately will run for 32 days, not 30 days. I thank you and I wish you good luck. Say something about the nutrition.
Thank you very much, Excellency. To add on to the issue of nutrition, first of all, I want to start from the point that it's very important to ensure that everybody drinks adequate fluids during this time, because the infection with the virus itself causes dehydration. So we want to encourage people to get into the habit of drinking water, at least 3 liters per day, whenever possible. And then we want to encourage a lot of eating of fruits, where we can obtain the vitamin C, as His Excellency has indicated, the oranges, the lemon, the bananas for vitamin B6 and folic acid, but also a lot of vegetables, because we get antioxidants that help us to fight diseases from these vegetables. On top of that, we want to encourage people to be frequent with their meals, because when the virus comes, it must get us healthy so that we are able to fight the virus, but also ensure that we maintain hygiene of whatever we are eating, not only ensuring that they are washed, but our hands are also clean before we eat these vegetables and fruits. Thank you.
From the technical people, Musenero, come and say something.
Thank you very much. What I would like to add is a new recommendation for managing cough and sneezing in public places. Sometimes we just stand aside and put our hands, or sometimes you don't have a hanky or you don't have a tissue. The World Health Organization now recommends sneezing into your elbow, because at least all of us, we have our elbow. So this is a practice we would like people to adopt. So if I'm coughing, I do this. And if you have a shirt, long sleeved, especially the men, then it will not go anywhere. It's something that is being promoted at very high level. So it's something we can adapt, because usually the hankies, we have been everywhere. Then you're touching them and then putting on your nose. But if you can sneeze in your elbow, then that will prevent pollution. I think we thank you, Your Excellency. We are just requesting the cooperation of the public to trust the technical team. We will defeat the virus.
This thing you're not touching your eyes and so on, even if I touch, even if I pick on my hands, but as long as I don't touch myself.
Yes.
In the soft parts.
Yes, hand management, we call it. People touch their faces without even thinking about it, but we would like to call upon Ugandans to be conscious with managing their hands, to make sure that your hand is not on your face. Because even if the hands are dirty...
Even if my hands were contaminated?
Yes.
As long as I didn't touch the soft
As long as you don't touch these 5 holes.
I could avoid.
Yes.
Confirm that.
Yes. The virus does not move in the air. So you can have the virus on your hands, but if you do not touch
and it does not go
your
through,
eyes,
it
will not go through the skin. It does not penetrate the skin. It just enters through these 5 holes on our face. That's the major, the 2 eyes, the nostrils, and the mouth. Those are the major ways that it's entering.
So it's actually easy to stop.
Yes.
You know me, I always study the enemy. I've listened that's how I fought AIDS, because I listened carefully, and then I was able to advise. This thing is really just indiscipline and carelessness.
Yes.
This thing can be stopped if we are serious.
Yes, the major frontiers of distancing, social distancing, avoiding crowding where people sneeze on you. That's one of the major interventions. Managing your hands, making sure that your hands, you don't touch your face with contaminated hands. So you wash your hands, even if you don't have disinfectants, but if you have soap and water, it's enough.
Yesterday,
so long as you wash
well. You were
well.
telling me about soap and water, that they actually can kill the virus. You
Yes.
Explain more about the science of it.
Yes, soap can kill most of the virus, because
Why? You tell us the science.
the virus has a layer, a coat, which it puts on. It has its material, the genetic material inside, then it is surrounded by a coat which has proteins and fats. And we all know that when you wash fats with soap, it goes away. So it puts holes into that coat, and that causes the virus to die. So most of the virus will be killed if you use it. It doesn't have to be medicated soap, just ordinary soap. But it also removes most of the things, even if the mucus were attached. So even that which has not been killed, it will be washed off. So soap and water. Your Excellency, there is a rumor which has been out there that because we are recommending alcohol for cleaning, people should go and drink alcohol. That you don't have enough, you can't drink enough alcohol to kill the virus in you. The alcohol for sanitation is used outside. Because by the time you have that amount of alcohol in your body, the alcohol will kill you before it kills the virus. So the alcohol and sanitizers are for spraying on hands and surfaces, not for drinking or thinking that it will kill the virus in your body.
So what these experts who have information but keep it to themselves, you wonder why they do that. They are now saying that ordinary soap can actually kill these viruses. Then I challenged them and said, why? They said, but when you wash with soap, it removes I don't know how they would call it.
That.
No, eque is a mixture of body exudations. What the body sweats out, the things which come out of your body. It's called eque. I don't know how they would say it in English. How would they say it in English? Eque.
Eco. Scum.
What? Scum. So it removes eque, which is a mixture of sweat. But sweat is what? What is sweat?
Sweat is water from the body.
No, but it comes with other.
Yeah, it has
salts.
minerals. Yes.
And what else?
Oil from the skin.
Oils.
Yes, the sebum.
Oil. And now the oils are fat.
Yes.
Now, so these scientists are saying, when you wash away those things, including the oil, which is body fat.
Yes.
Now, in the same way, so your hands become clean. Become clean because the soap takes away that layer of filth which has come from your body.
Yes.
So, in the same way, because this virus has got some fat portions
Yes.
in it. So when you wash with soap, the soap takes away those portions and creates holes, punctures in the skin of the virus. And that's how the virus can disintegrate. So, this virus, if we are really serious, is not that very, very strong. It just uses the carelessness of the human being. Yeah. And the fact that it's really carelessness. Because if we are strict, we can defeat it. Anything else, you people?
Mine is just to say thank you.
Uh-huh.
Your Excellency, mine is to say thank you so much for putting the Ugandan life, giving it first priority. Of course, without life, we cannot think of other things like development. Mine is to say thank you, Your Excellency, and to inform you that we shall do as you have decreed.
Excellency, again I want to explain the concept of quarantine because it seems to bother many of our nationals who are returning. They are wondering why we are putting them in institutional quarantine. They want to be let to go. But I want to reassure all of you that this is for your own safety. We quarantine you for 14 days in our identified places, as His Excellency has clearly highlighted, not because we want to keep you away from your families, but because we want to ensure that your families are protected, and once you develop symptoms, we can quickly evacuate you to ensure that no other person has contact with you and you do not spread the infection anywhere else. In many of the countries, the cases are imported, but the imported cases end up spreading, and the countries have local transmission, and then eventually they end up with community transmission, which is very difficult to manage. So my appeal is that we adhere to the rules of quarantine, and we are no longer carrying out self-quarantine. It is mandatory quarantine in institutions, as His Excellency has said. Yesterday, a number of Ugandans were refusing this. It is clear that you have to adhere, and it is not a choice. It is mandatory. Thank you very much.
Now, the Minister is going to sign a statutory instrument under the Public Health Act. So many of the things we are talking here are really a must. It's not optional. It's not up to you to do this or that. It should have to be done. Atwini wants to say something about the hotels. Come and say something about the hotels.
In addition to other workplaces, we also want to remind the hotel owners and the restaurant, because we know that eating will continue, people will continue accessing these services. We request that every hotel owner, every restaurant owner must put in place mechanism to wash hands, to make sure that they dispose of any tissue that will be in the restaurant properly, to make sure that they screen, especially in big hotels. It's not only security, but also to measure the temperature of the people, and also observe those avoid crowds, having big gatherings and functions, make sure that they minimize those meetings in hotels. We just want to emphasize hygiene, hand washing, alcohol sanitizer, and ensure that they enforce everyone who enters their facility to wash their hands and dispose of the tissues that will be left on the table. And we also, because we are going to have institutional quarantine, we'll need hotels, we'll need guest houses that the owners are willing to provide to keep our people who will be coming in the country, because right now it is a challenge. We have many people at the airport and we do not have where to put them. Therefore, we welcome the hotel owners to provide where we can put them.
The hotels are one of the workplaces, because I mentioned it in my speech. It is the factory, the hotel, the market, and I think I mentioned the bus park also, the shopping malls. I didn't mention the shopping malls, but those are workplaces. Those are workplaces which are not agricultural.
Yes.
Because I was talking about the structure of our country, where the population is distributed. So the workplaces, we don't want to close them, but we want to have those SOPs, those everagiro, those do's and don'ts. At least maybe not yet, but in other places they close them. In China they close them, I think, even in Italy. But here we have not yet come to that. That's why we kept the workplaces open, but have the do's and the don'ts.
She wants she wants volunteers for isolation purposes. That's hotels as isolation centers.
Yes, we request the hotel owners, those who can allow our people we are isolating to be accommodated, because some of them had reservations and they were not willing because they feared that if they allow in people and they get coronavirus, then their hotels will be abandoned, and they were asking whether it was possible to compensate them, which is not possible. But also we would also request the security to beef us at the port of entry. We, as Uganda has porous borders, we request the security gives us support to make sure that we enforce people to pass in designated places for better screening, but also where they cannot abide, then we have law enforcers come in, but also to give us the workforce to help us also, especially the borders where now we are seeing a lot of crowding.
Okay. Anything else, you people? Yes.
And I think they also need to design SOPs for prisons as concentration.
And the members of parliament.
Oh,
MPs.
the prisons. I forgot the prisons. Okay. Anything you want to say?
I just wanted to highlight Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I just wanted to highlight the importance of prevention. Right now, there's no known cure for coronavirus. There are a number of drugs which are being investigated, including chloroquine is one of them, and there are also antiviral agents, but we do not have the completed studies to show that this is the drug that works or this is the cure that works, and therefore the most important thing is to prevent getting the disease at this point, and hand washing is probably the number one most important intervention. And there's also some panic that we've run out of sanitizer, but as my colleagues have highlighted, washing with soap is as effective, and it will remove the virus and it will kill the virus. So you wash your hands as often as you can with soap and water. You will do your part in fighting this pandemic. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, those are the guidelines as issued by the government, and the president has taken of time to explain the rationale beyond the rationale behind the guidelines that have been put up by government to ensure that this country is safeguarded from the coronavirus, which is already causing havoc in the neighboring countries, that is Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania and South Sudan. One of the things that have come forward is the president has said 15 million school-going children or students need to stop, and the directive takes effect on Friday. They're all returning to school, returning home. So the president has also highlighted the need to protect this mass gathering of students, and from tertiary institution to the primary level, they will not be undertaking studies for 30 days. And the country under the world monitors the situation and the spread of coronavirus. The other aspect of this, just to recap, what the president says is that the burials, they has encouraged that if you have lost a loved one, lest the burial ceremony and the funeral rite be restricted to only family members. This, in a way, will curb the spread of the virus. The other aspect the president also hinted on is that the suspension of religious cultural gatherings. Now, to give it perspective, many people go into fellowships on different days, and they also go for overnights and the church services. the government says that this must be suspended for 30 days as government monitors what is going on. Rightly so, said these are gathering that can easily spread this virus, and the country needs to be checked. Other things that the president highlights also cautioning people that use commuter vehicles, says if there is no important urgent journey, please don't go into that taxi. And if you decide to take that taxi, please be very cautious. And also the people that sneeze, they should make sure that they dispense of that sanitizer they are using in order not to cause the spread. Also important for this is the entertainment, bars and these other festivals that have been prepared have also been put to a stop for at least 1 month for the safety of all Ugandans. Let's look at the global outlook of what is happening around the world. These are the statistics, and that is 452 cases that have been reported. And so far, 8,248 deaths have been reported as well. This is the global perspective of what is happening. Let's go to a country like China. China has recorded death of 3,122 people have so far died, and the recovery rate is also at 56,927. And this is the outlook. Let's look to Italy. Italy, we have so far the deaths that have been recorded. And Italy, for the benefit of the viewers, is one of those countries that has been worst hit. It has the death toll skyrocketing to 2,503, and the recovery is 2,941. Let's look at Iran. Iran had cases of 17,361. 17,361 cases. That is Iran. What is the death toll? The death toll is 1,135 deaths. 1,130 people have died in Italy. But there's also a story of the recovery. They've tried to do as much to rescue their people, and 5,389 have recovered. Looking at Spain, 13,910 cases were reported. That means this figure, people tested positive, and they tried to contain it, and the deaths have been at 632, and those were recovered at 1,081. Looking at another country, Germany, where the chancellor decided that he's locking out down the country and also stopping restaurants from operating. They had 10,082 cases reported. The death is 27, and 72 have recovered from Germany. The other country that we look at, Korea, that is South Korea, 8,413 have been reported, confirmed, but 84 deaths have been recorded in South Korea, and those that have recovered are 1,540. Looking at France has also been worse hit. It's recorded cases of 7,661, but the deaths have been at 148. They have also had recoveries of 12 people. Remember, globally have been told that there are people that have recovered and again be tested positive. So these are the dynamics that need to be taken care of. In the United States, we have 6,519 cases, people that have tested positive. Looking at Washington alone, Washington has recorded 55 deaths, and New York has recorded 16 deaths out of coronavirus. California has 13 deaths out of coronavirus, 7 deaths in Florida, and no data on recovery in these different places. But we have 4 deaths in Louisiana, US. We also have 3 deaths in New Jersey and Colorado, and Colorado has just 2 deaths. But it's very important that you safeguard yourself. This data is very important to also show you how much this is a problem. Looking at Switzerland, there are 3,028 cases were reported, and 28 people have been reported dead, although 15 have recovered. That is in Switzerland. And let's look at the United Kingdom. United Kingdom also took very serious measures on containing the spread. 2,642 cases have been reported in England, and 72 deaths have so far been registered, and 67 so far patients have recovered, those people that tested positive. Looking at the Netherlands, and Netherlands recorded 2,056 cases, 58 dead and 2 recovered. And this is information that we are receiving, collected globally to ensure that we bring you to speed on what is happening around the world. It's very important that you keep on what is